Hello and welcome to Week 8 NFL Picks on TLBTV. I'm here with Jake Brodsky, Lamar Johnson, and Liam Beatus. Before we get into the picks, let's take a quick look at the standings. Currently in first place, Jake Brodsky taking over that spot once again at 4-1 last week. Lamar falls down to second at 19-16, 2-3 last week. Liam and I are tied for third at 18-17, and I went 5-0 last week, finally getting over the hump, having a good week of picks. Without further ado, let's go into the first game. The undefeated Bengals taking on the Steelers. Steelers at home. Brodsky, who you got?
Actually, I'm going to start this one off, and I'm taking the undefeated Bengals over the Steelers. It was close to me. I wavered a little bit back and forth, but the Bengals are undefeated for a reason. I'm going to pick them to stay undefeated this week.
Take that from you. That was rude of you, Lamar. But I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. I think that the Bengals are a dominant team this year. I mean, they beat teams like the Seahawks. They've really proven that they belong in this contender conversation. Bengals take this one.
Guess who's back? Big Ben is back. At Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's defense has just been blitzing the hell out of every quarterback. They're going to bring it to Cincinnati at Heinz Field. Pittsburgh wins. They're 5-3.
You said it right there, Liam. Big Ben is coming back this week. Steelers are at home for this one. I'm giving it to the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to the next game, 4 o'clock. Jets 4-2 at 3-3 Raiders. Jake, you go first this time.
I'm taking the Raiders in this one. I wavered on it literally back and forth until I caught this football, and I think that the Raiders are the better team in this game. The Jets are coming off a heartbreaker against Brady and the Pats, while Derek Carr is just looking better and better every week, and Amari Cooper looks like a legitimate weapon. The Raiders take this one.
I'm agreeing with you again on this one, and I am taking the Raiders. I almost picked them as our upset pick until I realized that we were going to be picking the game on the show. So I'm confidently taking the Raiders in this one.
Jets on the road at 4-2, I think are the third best team right now in the AFC. Their defense is on another planet right now. Oakland's pretty limited what they can do offensively, and the Jets' defense is a nightmare.
And this week it's the Alex and Liam versus Lamar and Jake show. I'm also going to go with the Jets. They showed us last week. They played the Patriots close, showed us they're a legitimate threat. I'm going with the Jets.
Alex, there's a reason that Lamar and I are on top of the
No. We're gonna.
Yeah, we're coming back this week, and I went 5-0. So we'll see anyway. On to the Sunday night game, Battle of the Undefeateds, Packers at Broncos. Jake, who you got?
The Broncos are the most disappointing 6-0 team I think I've ever seen. I mean, Peyton Manning looks like a shell of his former self, and I think that Aaron Rodgers has been on another level this year. The Pack take this one.
I got to agree with you on that one. Yeah, the Broncos are not convincing at all. I really don't understand how they're undefeated. The Packers have been easily the better team, and I think they stay undefeated and give the Broncos their first loss.
Despite the Broncos being 6-0, they only have a point differential of plus 37, which is not a lot for 6 games. They don't have a double-digit win. The Green Bay Packers are for real. Aaron Rodgers might just be the best quarterback in football. I take Green Bay.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Aaron Rodgers is the top 2 quarterback in the league. Him and Brady are up there. Peyton Manning is barely a top 10 quarterback in the league. I'm going with the Packers in this one. On to Monday night, Colts at Panthers. Another undefeated team, Carolina. Jake, who you got?
I just mentioned the most disappointing 6-0 team in the NFL. Now I'm talking about the most disappointing team in the NFL. The Colts were the trendy pick to win the Super Bowl this year. Meanwhile, they've struggled. The Panthers have been dominant. They also beat the Seahawks. The Panthers are also going to go 7-0 this week.
The Broncos are the most disappointing. The Panthers are the most surprising. It was hard to pick against them last week, even though they were playing my Eagles, and they proved why they're undefeated. So I'm picking them to stay undefeated and beat a Colts team that doesn't look like they're heading in the right direction.
The Panthers are going to win the game this week. The Colts have been really struggling at the line of scrimmage, and that is where the Panthers are going to win this game. I'm taking the Panthers.
I wasn't convinced at first, but now I'm convinced. I think the Panthers are a legitimate threat in the NFL, and they're going to beat the Colts. Let's move on to our upset picks. Jake Brodsky, who are you going with?
I'm taking the Giants over the Saints. I think both these teams have been really hit or miss this year, and that the Giants are going to take this one. I think that they're the picture of inconsistency. I know that's not what you want to hear, Liam.
They are.
But that inconsistency has kept them in the play for the NFC East crown, and that's what they're going to do this week. They're going to win another one to keep in that conversation.
I'm picking the Chargers over a very disappointing Ravens team. Sports Illustrated had the Ravens going to the Super Bowl, however they have 1 win, but somehow they are still favored to win this game by 3 points. I'm taking the Chargers in this one.
London games tend to be pretty weird. Last week, if you saw Jacksonville nearly blow a 27-point lead against Buffalo, I'm taking the Lions this week against Kansas City. I don't believe Kansas City has what it takes offensively to get past Matt Stafford, even on a down year. I'm taking Detroit.
The Dan Campbell rejuvenation is real. The Dolphins' offense is reborn. I'm going with the Dolphins to beat the Patriots on Thursday night in Foxborough.
I don't know if that's bold or dumb.
It's a combination of both, but when it happens on Thursday night, I'm going to look like a genius. But anyway, thanks for watching Week 8 NFL Picks. Liam, Lamar, Jake, and myself. Look forward to seeing you next week. Shout out to Jake Britton and the one and only Chris Rogers.